Well, goodbye Starfish Beach. It was absolutely wonderful to be here and to explore this very, very quiet bay. Just what we needed on our first night out from town. So today we're heading further into the lagoons, and we hear that there is another bar somewhere in the mangroves. So hopefully we can find it. The captain is steaming full speed ahead. I don't know what the rush is, but maybe he's really keen on that margarita as well. He's changing, I'm telling you, he's changing. His entire outlook on sailing is changing. Those sails hardly ever comes out. It's all about engine and the next margarita. I've succeeded.
Well, another day sail, another few hours being put on the engine. If that's the price you pay for beautiful, flat, calm waters and the calmest anchoring conditions I've ever seen, then so be it. I'll motor around happily all day. It's going to be a real shock to us when we eventually turn a few more corners and find ourselves back on the Atlantic Ocean with its swell and its waves beating into the side of us. But for now, we're just enjoying the lagoon and all the calmness and tranquility that it has to offer.
And all the calmness and tranquility that I am offering on this vessel for many years. That's what he meant to say.
That's right, that's exactly what I meant to say. First mate is just as calm as this lovely lagoon this morning, and you can tell that we both had a beautiful, restful night's sleep. The boat hasn't moved just even an inch overnight. I haven't seen water this flat in a long time. There's no boats either to create any chop in the water, so it's just like a mirror the whole time. Really, really beautiful. We're just weaving our way through the mangroves now to get from one lagoon to the next. These passes are really something, so careful navigation is called for here. Luckily, there's plenty of depth, and as the captain just messes up the autopilot, there's plenty of depth, and we're seeing more than 50 feet under the keel, so not too nervous yet. Let's see how it goes.
Thank God for that, otherwise I would be dispatched to the front again, keeping an eye on the coral heads.
Just hope we make it in time for happy hour. First mate's lined us up a nice hotel bar. Should be good.
I'm praying to all my gods that they are open, because opening hours in Panama, it's hit and miss.
Peace and quiet at last as the engine goes off. We might have the wind for about 10 minutes knowing our luck around here, but that's 10 minutes we'll take.
Well, we're doing 2.5 knots for the last hour and a half, so that's not bad. It's nice and quiet, no one's talking, apart from me of course, and the engine is off, so good result for Bocas. And we are nearly there. Happy hour coming up. Sadly, the hotel we were heading to was closed, so we thought of an emergency anchoring in another place, and we will just have to entertain ourselves. Just 1 more hour to go and we'll be there.
Of course, the captain's happy hour has already begun. That starts as soon as the engine goes off, and we're losing heat rapidly from down below, so that's all good. Just need a beer in these shaky hands now. Well, this race is turning into a real nail-biting finish. We're making all of 2.1 knots, and I think Matilda there is just sneaking past us at 2.15. We only have 0.5 miles to go until we arrive, so it's everything to play for.
Pippa! Excuse me, are you stealing our win? We've been here first! Give it back! Seriously, you invite them to tag along and they're gonna steal your win. No manners! Well, they are 10 feet longer boat than we are, so, you know, just for the record. Pippa! So, Captain, how does it feel to lose again, Captain?
You know, you'd think you get used to it after all these times, but it still hurts. It really hurts. I need a beer.
Don't worry, I'm gonna make voodoo dolls of Fiona and Matt tonight. They're gonna feel the pain too.
First mate's really embracing his witchcraft in the Caribbean. I'll tell you what hurts the most is little Pippa there on the foredeck just teasing us.
It is beautiful. I know we're going slow, but just having two sailboats next to each other, admiring each other is just fantastic. The conditions are just perfect, so we're gonna anchor under sail. Haven't done that for a while, but come on, what's gonna happen? We're going at 2.1 knots. Job done. Wasn't too bad after all. A bit further from the shore than I wanted to be, but hey, we take it.
All good. Happy captain, happy crew. Ta-da! Look at this. Today is a very big day for little Bohemia and her crew, I have to say. This is going to be life-changing. Can you tell what it is yet? Ready? Haha! This is a Starlink satellite internet terminal. If you're not familiar with this, it's going to change the game for cruising in remote places. We will be able to have broadband quality internet pretty much wherever we go. We took it back with us in our suitcase from London, and only 2 days ago someone flicked the switch and Panama is now active. So this thing sprung into life. The only thing that remains now is to do a proper install. It's going to be quite involved the way I want to do it. I found quite a good spot for it. It needs to be up here so it has a view of the sky, and it's also quite important for El Capitan over here that it doesn't shade any of his precious solar panels. So this is quite out of the way. The only downside is that I have to run this enormous cable all the way through the boat and find a good spot for it on the inside. The other part of the install that I'm doing is following a few guides online to power this from our DC system, so we don't need the inverter on all the time and it shouldn't be too wasteful or power hungry. So we're just going to wire it up to a switch down below so we can flick it on when we need it. And knowing the first mate, that's going to be every 30 seconds to every 45 seconds, I reckon.
I don't know what he's talking about. I am so unsocial person. I don't want to be online. I don't want to be in touch with anyone. I'm quite happy as we are, really. You know, no one can reach me here. No one can accuse me that I have not messaged them or sent them kind regards. So now, I don't know how I feel about being online all the time. I may sabotage his efforts, unless he proves to me the benefit.
But most of all, I'm sorry for all you guys out there for him being online 24/7 now. It's gonna backfire somehow, isn't it?
But he's right, it's gonna be life-changing for our episode uploads. We've been running around in restaurants and bars or going to friends' houses to upload episodes, and now we can do it easily in our own comfort, so that should work.
That's right, no more bars and Wi-Fi hunting for the first mate. He's just going to be in the galley where he belongs the whole time. Not too bad. Almost straight, just like everything else on Bohemia. It's all connected, it's all ready, and it just sprang into life. You ready for the speed test? Here we go. Getting faster. Oh, look at that. That is just unheard of. We've got over 200 megabits per second of high-speed broadband coming straight into Bohemia's cabin in the middle of nowhere. We're in some remote lagoon right now outside of Bocas, and just look at that. That internet speed is going to be life-changing for us. I just got to apologise to you guys out there that the first mate's going to be online on Instagram spamming you all 24/7, so at least the captain gets a break.
That's right. Like. Starting to scroll very soon.
The install went pretty smoothly. The hardest part, as always, was threading about 25 feet of cable through every bit of the boat, and of course everything had to come out of every locker that we have. Apart from that, the only other major change that I did was allow the Starlink to be powered off our DC system, so we don't need to have the inverter on all the time. And to do that, I followed our friend Ilka's fantastic guide, which I'll put a link to in the video if you happen to be doing the same thing on a boat or an RV. But really happy with how it all works. We just have a switch now on our DC panel, and we have instant Starlink. It's a bit power hungry, so I don't think we're going to leave it on overnight, at least to start with, but probably most of the daytime whenever the sunlight is pouring in through the solar panels. So far so good. It's just amazing. I can't get used to the novelty. With the Battle-born lithium batteries and now the Starlink hooked up, there's really no need for us to go into a marina at all. We're pretty self-sufficient just out here doing our own thing. Only downside is that the first mate won't get his AC, but I'm sure he's fine without that.
Watch that. No marina? I don't think so. Remember that new motto for sailing Bohemia? Quiet marinas and good margaritas.
We'll see about that. Watch this space. Well, another day in paradise, and we are underway. As you can see, the weather is gorgeous. It's really come through for us, and I think we're headed towards the end of the rainy season. Unfortunately, what is a beautiful day for us and our sailing is also a drought for all the local towns and villages. So they are suffering a little bit with a shortage of water. For us, we're taking advantage of the nice weather window while we can, and so the captain doesn't get the fire hose shower sprayed in his face whenever we're navigating. We are off now, leaving paradise, sadly, and we're going to Islas Zapatillas, and we're slowly starting to make our way out of town. Once we make it through this narrow pass ahead of us, then we're gonna lose the shelter of these beautiful lagoons, and we'll be back on the open ocean again. I'm not sure we're quite ready for that.
The captain has interrupted my sun tanning session because it's getting all shallow around here, so I've been dispatched to the bow to be looking at the shoals. Fun. We are apparently down to 20 feet. Our keel is only 5.5. Don't know what the stress is about. I'm sure we'll be fine. Back on a deck chair.
Yep, the first mate is up there on the bow where he belongs, checking for the shallow spots.
It's fine. Back to sunbathing now.
Could you stop shading that solar panel, please? Take your tanning somewhere else where it's not going to interrupt the captain's amps.
And it's official. We are back on the ocean. We are very lucky indeed that actually it's quite quiet because these islands, they do not offer much protection. It gets super shallow again, so we will need to be very careful when anchoring. Matilda is hot on our heels and we are really enjoying having some company again. I think there's going to be a tropical cocktail fiesta tonight on Bohemia. Maybe the captain's going to take his guitar out. You never know.
I knew the captain felt a tropical itch coming up. Wonder what that was. First mate speciality.
Special thanks in this episode go to our latest patrons for keeping the tropical itches coming, even in the most hard-to-reach places. Thank you to Rodina Sheferhantsova from the Czech Republic, who are a family who enjoy sailing in the Med and have rejoined us at the cocktail bar after a short break. Thank you so much, and here's to you!
Champagne for everyone!
If you've been enjoying our episodes and want to fuel the first mate's bad behaviour, follow the link on screen to find out more. See you next time!